Hello and welcome to the Rochelle J. Chung Faith Circle series. This is a segment where I will be exploring topics about faith, my own journey to becoming closer to God, and little things that I've learned and done as a Christian that have elevated my life. And I hope that this series will be meaningful to you and you will take something of value from it. Today, we will be talking about Easter and Resurrection Sunday specifically, why we celebrate it as Christians, its importance, common myths, and why it has significance for me and for us as Christians. One of my favorite Bible verses, and a Bible verse that I would say sums up Christianity for me, was here in John 3:16. So John 3:16, if you've never heard it, says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life." This is exactly why we celebrate Easter, because it represents God's love, his mercy for all of us, regardless of our flaws, regardless of our issues, our imperfections, where we come from, what language we speak. It represents God's supernatural love for us, that he would send his only begotten Son. Only Son. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I could be at a place to make that type of sacrifice. And so God thought of us not only as his own, but as his people, where he would send that manifestation of his love to die for us, so that way we can have forgiveness, atonement, and actually live a fulfilling life. There are, however, many common myths and misconceptions about Easter and resurrection. If you hear the word Easter, you're probably thinking about cute little bunnies, eggs, springtime festivities, pastel colors, and others think that resurrection is just a symbolic or a metaphorical event rather than an historical fact, I would say. But the resurrection is significant for us as Christians because it gives us hope. And I don't know of any greater story of hope than one that affirms our belief that Jesus is who he says he is, the Son of God, and that he has power over death and the grave. Because of this, we have the hope of eternal life through faith in Jesus and through our faith in Jesus. As Romans 10 verses 9 says, "If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the death, you will be saved." There's no pullback of that promise. There's no conditions on that promise. You confess with your mouth and you will be saved. In conclusion, and I would say in just understanding what exactly is Easter, the best way I can think of it is it's a time to reflect on the ultimate sacrifice that was made for us and the hope that we have through that resurrection of Jesus. It's a time to share the love of Christ and the love of Christ that resides in Christians and other people around us, and to celebrate and hope to emulate the greatest act of love ever shown. I hope that as you go through your life, you will too experience that love, not only from other Christians, but that love from God yourself. And I hope that for Easter, it's not something that you will only think of when it comes to the beautiful colors, hunting eggs and cute little bunnies and all of that. There's so much more to it. In conclusion, for this part 1 of the Easter video, I would say, if this is the first time you're hearing of Easter, if it's the first time you're hearing of God's love for us so much that He sent His Son, to sum it up, Easter is a time to reflect on the ultimate sacrifice made for us and the hope that we have through the resurrection of Jesus. It is a time to celebrate the love of Christ with those around us and to celebrate the greatest act of love I've ever heard of and that's ever been shown to the world. I hope that you will join me for part 2, and thank you for joining in this first. Thank you for joining me in this first discussion about Easter and Resurrection Sunday. I hope you learned something. Part 2 will go more into some of the evidence, some of the different biblical scriptures which refer to the resurrection and better understanding it. And until next time, this has been the Rochelle J. Chung Faith Circle series. I hope that you will join us again. Ask any questions in the comments below. If I don't answer them, maybe I can get a nice pastor or someone who is a lot more researched on this to pop into the comments and answer your questions. But I hope it will be a safe space for you to reach out and ask questions that you might have, and we can learn together. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and until then, I'll see you next time.